another gorgeous day as the Phillies take the field on a 77-degree Sunday with no Eagles football on the TV this week. All eyes are focused on the Phillies as we take a look at today's same-game parlay that's available now on FanDuel. The Fanatic is into it, and these fans are too. Let's see if they have some offense to cheer about today. Down to the field for more, and Tom Berducci.
Well, thanks, Adam. Imagine this baseball diamond is a chessboard. The piece that Mets manager Carlos Mendoza wants to take off this board, that's Bryce Harper. They tipped their hand in game one. 70% of the pitches they threw Harper were out of the strike zone. The one time he came up with runners on base, he got himself out by chasing. The plan, make anyone other than Harper beat them. That's especially important today. 2 weeks ago, Bryce Harper hit 2 home runs off Luis Severino, both on pitches when Severino challenged him in the zone. Adam?
There were a changeup and a sweeper that he hit off of Severino for those 2 shots. Harper will see him in the bottom of the first. The Mets will see Christopher Sanchez in the top of the first. This is the lineup they'll put out. 8 hits, all singles yesterday, yet they still were able to muster across 6 runs. They do make a change with the lefty on the hill. Harrison Bader will make his first start of the postseason and take over in center field. JD Martinez steps in, a right-hander instead of the lefty Jesse Winker. Martinez, a postseason veteran of 35 playoff games. And Christopher Sanchez makes a playoff start for the 2nd time in his major league career. What a big moment for the first-time All-Star.
Yeah, he's had 31 starts this year, 2 complete in that, a great record, an ERA. The innings pitched 181. What I really like about this guy, keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's working that sinker. He's got the best changeup in all of baseball. We're going to see some sinkers today. We're going to see some of the best changeup there is. We're going to see a few sliders, but he's coming heavy.
Francisco Lindor, the switch hitter, will bat right-handed against the lefty Sanchez. And off we go in game 2, strike 1. Just 2 hits for Lindor, but he has walked 6 times in the playoffs. Sanchez home with a 1-1. And it is lifted foul. So we take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Google Cloud giving us these real-time insights. 333 lifetime, 3 for 9 with a couple of walks against Sanchez for Lindor, who taps one foul to stay alive.
What makes him so successful in the strike is that his changeup looks exactly like his sinker. It's coming out of the same slot. It's got the same spin, same arm speed.
And there is the changeup. 1 down.
We had several of these Met hitters. What was so special about them? They all said the same thing. The arm speed sells it, and it looks exactly like his sinker.
Lindor chatting with Nimmo on the way to the dugout as Mark Vientos will climb in. He had the game-tying RBI in the 8th inning to get 1-1, part of the Mets rally. There's a strike on a slider.
Wait, no, you keep talking about the sinker changeup combo. The key for the Mets, honestly, don't swing at the changeup. It's a ball almost 2 out of 3, 64% of the time. It's easier said than done. Right there, changeup out of the zone. It's so hard to say, but if they can lay off changeups, he'll throw balls for them.
Still nothing in tune. You see where so many of those strikeouts come, exactly to your guys' point. Oftentimes dips down out of the zone, gets guys to chase. He's got one of the highest chase rates in baseball. Comes home with a 2-strike pitch, and Vientos loops it fair down the right field line. And the 24-year-old is looking for extra bases. Castellanos digs it out. It's a 1-out. Vientos, his first hit against Sanchez. He was 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts. And he's able to get a 2-strike base hit for a double with 1 out.
Yeah, the right on left right here Vientos actually a very good down ball hitter against lefties, hits the changeup and sinker well. This was probably not a matchup for Sanchez, even though he's had success against him in the past.
So man in scoring position for the man who broke the 1-1 tie in the 8th last night. It is Brandon Nimmo. Goes after the first one. Rojas racing back in front of the track. Flags it down. Vientos will the throw is late, and a man at third with 2 down on a hard hit ball out to center. Good play by Rojas. That'll set it up for Pete Alonso with an RBI chance, and Sanchez trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. For 4 with 3 strikeouts in game 1. Alonso climbs in. Just the second pitch out of the zone out of the 11 thrown by Sanchez. There's a strike.
There we go.
A 1-1. Click the corner with the changeup. And a big pitch in the early going in game 2. Alonso cracks it in the air, right center field. It is Rojas, and Sanchez gets out of the first. Our hitters of all time will kick things off. The big change is Edmundo Sosa. Alec Bohm has struggled as of late. Sosa comes in at third. Schwarber had 2 of the 5 hits. The rest of the team 3 for 27. Trying to get a little bit more push from what was one of the best offenses in all of baseball this year. And they'll go up against the veteran Luis Severino, a 2-time All-Star with the Yankees, who had a bounce-back year with the New York Mets.
Man, did he ever have a bounce-back year. This year, 31 starts. Last year, he threw the same amount of home runs he did this year, but he threw, what, 100 more innings this year than he did last year? He kept the ball in the park. He threw a lot more innings. He had a healthy season. Luis Severino is back.
Facing Schwarber to start it. Fastball strike.
Couple of big changes for him. If you look at his arsenal this year, he's throwing a sinker really for the first time. He kind of toyed around with it before. This year he's throwing it at a 25% clip. That's what's helped him get his pitch counts down, go deeper in the games. That's what's kept his ground ball rate at a highest level it's been since his rookie season. And he's also throwing that sweeper. 39% repertoire change.
1-2 on Schwarber.
That's a crazy amount of difference.
Trying to keep the ball in the park against a guy like Schwarber, easier said than done. 16 career leadoff homers between the regular season and the playoffs. Hard hit ball towards second, grabbed by Iglesias, and they'll retire Schwarber, 1 down.
Well, one of the keys for Severino is he has to keep the ball in the park. If he gives up a home run, he basically loses the game. If he doesn't give up a home run, this is most pitchers, but it's really huge for him. He gives up a home run, his ERA goes up over 6 for the games. When he doesn't, it's under 2 at 1.6. So can he keep the ball in Citizens Bank Park against this powerful Phillies lineup?
Can Trey Turner turn things around? Goes after the first pitch, broken bat number, and he'll take it any way he can get it. He was very frustrated with his performance last night. He's going to get on base to start it with 1 down in the first.
Not the hardest to hit balls. Broke his bat. 76.5 off the bat. But Trey Turner and a lot of these Philly fans, they'll take that. Now, will he steal? Will he steal? Sometimes you have to almost force Trey Turner to run. But will he take the extra base and try and get into second for Bryce Harper?
Tom Verducci talked about it. Turner goes, pitches a strike, throw down to second, and Turner is in a scoring position right on cue.
And
yes.
no chance.
Yes, he will, AJ.
But no chance. Severino high leg kick. He has no chance. Trey Turner, huge jump. Francisco Alvarez makes a pretty good throw, but he's already dusting himself off by the time Lindor puts the tag on.
0-1 on Harper. Big cut, 0-2 on a fastball.
Well, I think he would have pitched Harper differently with him on second, but he went 0-1. Then he throws a high fastball out of the strike zone to get strike two. That changes a pitcher's mentality. Tom Verducci mentioned, hey, they're not really going to throw Harper much. But if you go 0-2, unless you're Tony La Russa, you're not usually walking a guy 0-2.
Well, Rob Thompson said the key for them today was not chasing, to keep him in the zone. But to your point, once you go 0-2, you got 4 cracks at trying to get him to chase something now.
Harper fouls it back. He has 11 playoff home runs, second in Philly history behind Schwarber. Those 2 home runs that Tom Verducci was talking about that he hit off Severino in September snapped a long home run drought. 128 at bats at one point without a homer, the second longest streak of his career. Then he faced Severino in that mid-September game and banged out a couple of them, one on a changeup, one on a sweeper. 2-2 the count. Count runs full.
So, Wayno, if you're Severino right here, you go with your best pitch, which is what, a sweeper? Harper homered off that earlier in the year. You try to get him to chase one, or do you go rush him up again?
Well, his best pitch is his fastball. I mean, he's got a top 80-something% fastball in the game.
It is a fastball. It is called strike 3. Harper does not like the call, and a big strikeout for Luis Severino. Edwin Moscoso with the call behind home plate. 2 down.
Now, sometimes you can fool a hitter. Bryce Harper knows what Tom Verducci was talking about before the game. Is that a strike? I don't know. You see Alvarez try to pull it down. It's borderline, but if you're Harper, you're thinking he's not going to pitch to me. And what did Severino and Alvarez do? Here comes a four-seamer. Hit it if you can.
They threaded that line at the very top of the zone.
Turner takes off. Nobody was covering third base, so he'll gladly take another steal. And now he's in the third, and ball 1 to Castellanos.
Most of the time with the guys already in scoring position, that's not a huge deal. But with a guy with the speed of Trey Turner, now you have to worry about any pass ball that gets away just a few feet, he can score.
Castellanos towards first. It's caught by Alonso. And both starting pitchers leave a man stranded at third base in the first inning.
The next chapter begins.
First, both pitchers leave a man at third, and Jose Iglesias climbs in against Sanchez and takes a strike. An excellent season for Iglesias, 3 for 18 in the playoffs so far. Had a key 11 pitch at bat that ended up in a single in that 5-run 8th inning. A tough out, and has been very good against lefties this year. Sanchez ahead, and just got a piece to Iglesias. Back to the strikeout of Harper in the first.
Borderline pitch, yes. Alvarez clanks it. You usually don't get that call from umpires. You see Harper thinking, man, that might be borderline high. But Alvarez and Severino are like, ha, we stole one there.
Iglesias reaches out, pokes it towards third. Sosa tested for the first time, and his throw goes wide up the sidewall. On to second base will go Iglesias. Sosa getting the start for Alec Bohm, the all-star third baseman who has been scuffling mightily at the plate, and Sosa unable to make the play. It would have been a good play had he made it on a close one at first. It'll be a single on the infield and the throwing error, allowing Iglesias to second.
The swing and play. Sosa does a good job coming in on this ball. Just lets the throw get away a little bit. Harper looked like he might have stretched out. No, he did as best he could. Throw just got away.
So man in scoring position for JD Martinez.
And that pitch right there is the key. Rob Thompson said if he's commanding the fastball, the glove side, inside of these righties away to lefties, that's when he's at his best.
Martinez rolls one foul.
The key for that, though, Wayno, is that's to get him off the changeup. You just can't stay away and throw the changeup, because what hitters will do, and what we saw out of Vientos, is they'll start going the other way. So you got to keep them honest. The guys who throw the slowest, and Sanchez isn't a soft thrower, but like a Jamie Moyer, he would throw 80 miles an hour, but he'd pitch in more than a guy throwing 100, because you got to keep hitters honest in there. And by keeping hitters honest, it opens up the changeup down and away.
Another 0-2 count to a Mets hitter. And Sanchez misses 1-2.
And the biggest thing is about that is hitters don't like to get jammed. They get embarrassed when they get jammed. They'd rather look foolish out in front, swinging out front, than just getting their bat blown up inside.
Martinez reaches out, sends it into our center, and what a play by Bryson Stott, lunging for the out. A sparkling play to take a base hit from Martinez. And there is one down.
What a play by Stott. Just crazy. When this was off the bat, I thought for sure this was a knock, but Stott goes as far as he can, jumps as high as he can, and saves a run.
One 1-0 on Marte. Who sends one out towards center field. Rojas had the beat on it and snares it for the second out. Back to second base goes Iglesias.
Great base running here by Iglesias. He doesn't go very far. They always say freeze on a line drive, but every runner takes an extra step when the ball's hit. That is a great base running job by Jose Iglesias not to get doubled up on that play by Stott.
The Mets 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position in the first 2 innings. Here's Alvarez. On the ground towards first, diving stop by Harper, and the defense saves the inning for Philadelphia. First it was Stott, and then it was Harper, who started 141 games at first and ended up being one of the top defensive first basemen in the league. After the Phillies defense came up huge, including Bryson Stott. With Iglesias at second, he was able to make a great play against Martinez to prevent a base hit, perhaps a run. And then Harper finished it out with that diving stab to close out the frame.
When you have a great walkout song like that, you got the fans all fired up. I feel like they take that first big giant hack on the first swing, trying to keep them up on their feet.
Oh, nice quickly behind, 0-2. Called strike 3 on a fastball. Little run to that one back over the inner corner, and a Severino strike. As we take a look at our player profile sponsored by Liberty Mutual on Luis Severino, 30 years of age from the Dominican Republic, and you see what he did the previous 5 seasons and what he's done this year. What a bounce back for Luis.
Yeah, and the inside of that, last year in 89 innings pitched, he gave up 23 homers. This year, same amount of home runs given up in 182 innings pitched.
There's Real Muto, and he'll take a strike.
Well, I love what Carlos Mendoza said. The Mets came to him and asked him. Carlos Mendoza, the manager of the Mets, was with the Yankees when Luis Severino was there. They came to him, David Stearns, and said, what do you think? And he's like, yes. If he's healthy, he can be a horse for us. And that's exactly what he's been for the New York Mets. So it's awesome when you hear that the front office goes to the manager with experience and asks him about players. The manager says yes, and then the player works out.
1-2. All those years with New York came up with Rob Thompson as well. When Mendoza was in the minor leagues as a coordinator and working his way up the coaching ranks, Rob Thompson was a key for the New York Yankees coaching staff, ran spring training camp. And then when Thompson left to come to Philadelphia, it was Carlos Mendoza who took over that role. Those two guys have a lot of respect for each other.
David Stearns and the Mets absolutely knocked it out of the park with Carlos Mendoza. When we talk to him, he is one of the most positive, happy people you'll ever meet. And listen, Robbie Thompson's great too. Rob Thompson.
There's another strikeout. Now Real Muto goes down, back-to-back Ks to start off the second inning.
Went to the changeup here. This is something he throws only 8% of the time. Hard to look for that when you got to look for a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Gets it down, starts right in the middle of the heart of the plate, and then goes straight underneath, mid-shins. That's perfectly executed changeup.
There's Brandon Marsh.
Those off-speed pitches that start, you want them to look tasty right out of the hand. They got to look like they're right down the middle.
Marsh sends one into the air, foul territory. Vientos, and he's got it. Inning over. It's a 1-2-3 frame tossed by Severino. Off to the third we go, scoreless. To highlight the fun and accessible ways to play the great game, you can learn more, including how to find a league near you. Playball.org, and follow on social media. Harrison Bader will take a strike, making his first start of the postseason. Pinch ran in the 8th inning, scored the game-tying run, and then singled and scored another in the 9th. Out there for his defense as well. Sanchez home, and he pours in that excellent changeup for a strike. Nobody had more strikeouts on a changeup in Major League Baseball than Sanchez. 91 of his 153 on that pitch. A 1-2, and that changeup gets right back to him for out number 1.
A lot of sinker ballers finish up in a great defensive position. You see him there, he finished square so he could catch the ball and then turn and throw the ball to first base. But, you know, as a sinker baller, you're expecting the ball back towards you a lot. See how he gets his weight back under him real quick? Greg Maddux used to be the best at that, but Chris is also great at that.
Back to the top, and Francisco Lindor. Hit both lefties and righties very well this season. Had OPS above 830 against both righties and lefties. 22 homers against righties, 11 against lefties. Obviously, see more righties, so the volume's going to be a little higher.
Yesterday we talked about shadows, and we just showed the shot. Players I talked to, coaches I talked to today, said the toughest it is here at Citizens Bank Park is when it's dark like it is and the batter's eye is bright like it is. That's what makes it so tough. The sun shines right there. The whole infield is covered in shadows. The green batter's eye you see is bright. That's when it makes it tough. Take nothing away from Zach Wheeler and what the Mets pitching staff did yesterday. They're great pitchers. But every hitter I talked to was like, it was hard to see. Catchers were saying they couldn't see. It just was tough.
Lindor cracks one towards left center. That'll get down for a base hit. Third Mets hit of the day, and a one-out single for Lindor.
Lindor, to me, this year was so different that he has been the last couple years, hitting the ball down in the zone and hitting the breaking ball. He had a couple years in a row where he did not handle breaking balls very well at all, and he did not hit the ball down. This year, he's pretty much covered everything in the zone.
Now he sets it up for Vientos. Lindor taking a healthy lead against Sanchez. In the air to right. Castellanos ranging back at the wall. He turns around and it's gone. It kept on carrying for Vientos, who continues to impress in his Division Series debut.
We said it earlier. He's probably the guy in this lineup that hits the changeup sinker combination the best of all the 9 hitters. He handles it really well. Right here, it's Citizens Bank Ballpark, goes down, takes it the other way. Great job of hitting.
Two nothing, and here's Nimmo.
Vientos has had the 2 best swings of the day off Sanchez. And what is he looking for here? First of all, after Lindor struck out, he tells Vientos something. I don't know what he said. He covered his mouth. I can't read lips through hands. And then he went to Nimmo, the next guy. Was he tipping? Was he doing something? Did he see something off Sanchez? And then this one, this is a changeup that's just up. Right, but Vientos looked to go the other way. His first at bat, he shot a ball down the right field line. He got the changeup up. The key to hitting Sanchez, don't swing it, the ball's down. You got to force him to throw the ball up. Easier said than done. So far in through these 2+ innings, the Mets have done a good job of it.
Nimmo taps it foul, and the Mets, which had no extra base hits in game 1. Vientos has a double and a home run. Just their 2nd playoff home run so far. The Alonso blast in game 3 in Milwaukee, and now this from Vientos off Sanchez.
Now, there's something to think about here. When's the last time they had a lead early in the game?
Yeah,
we talked to some of the Philly players. Maybe the best idea would be to let them get a lead early.
No.
Just a joke, obviously.
No.
Just a joke, obviously. But,
no.
you know, maybe it puts them in a spot they don't know how to act. They've been coming from behind so late in these games. A lead early may be something they don't know what to deal with.
The difference is when here in Philly.
As Nimmo rolls one to third. Picked up by Sosa. Another tough play and not in time. Slowly developing. Sosa charging in a better throw this time than the one he had the error on, but not in time to get Nimmo.
Yeah, playing back. This is 2 of these now that have been hit right off the end of the bat. The first one he obviously threw away. Sosa started way back on this play. I mean, he's almost in the outfield. Has a long way to go. Actually makes a really nice play. Nimmo just beats it.
Three consecutive hits now for the Mets. The single by Lindor, the Vientos homer, and now Nimmo aboard for Alonso.
Back to the fact about the Mets getting a lead. We're in Philadelphia. Our stats guy, Ed Svita, is like the biggest Philly guy in the world. And he is nervous as can be right now because, like all these Philly fans, they're playing their division rival, the Mets. They're like, oh, yeah, it's the Mets. We're better than the Mets. They lose game 1 when Wheeler deals. Now game 2, they look up. They're down 2-0 here. All the pressure now, guess what goes on? Those Philly players in the dugout. Because this fan base, as we all know, they can get hostile and turn on their own players, which is not what you want as a player. You want these guys behind you.
1-2 on Alonso.
He's going to have to do some more of that right there. He's going to have to get that slider in on the righties. He's going to have to use his fastball into the righties to get him off of being able to just shoot the ball to right, just like you said earlier, AJ.
Nimmo at first, 1 out. Bluffing a couple of moves to distract Sanchez. Alonso waves and misses at the slider. Second strikeout for Christopher Sanchez. 2 away in the third. Now Iglesias, who had an infield single and reached on that throwing error by Sosa in the second. Nimmo was 15 for 15 stealing bases during the regular year. Sanchez gave up the most stolen bases for Philadelphia, but a much lower number than what the Mets dealt with their biggest culprit, the lefty Sean Manaea. Sanchez was on the mound for 14 stolen bases given up during the season. But in the same amount of innings, Sean Manaea gave up 23. Just giving you those numbers for comparison. There's a 1-0 outside. Mets did have a lead, by the way. I know you guys were asking about it, and somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but they had a 3-2 lead on Milwaukee in game 1 of that fairly high-scoring game in the wild card series, game that ended up being 8-4. There's a 2-0. Strike. Nimmo bluffs. The pitch is taken by Iglesias for a strike. 2-2. Way out in front, Iglesias knocks a slider foul.
These fans are on their feet. This has got to be one of the all-time great venues to play in any sport. Wouldn't you say, AJ? I mean, this is just incredible here.
The energy is off the charts, but they need to get a lead and put some pressure back on the Mets.
Quick disengagement. Phillies are 28-14 in playoff games at this ballpark, but they have lost their last 3 home playoff games. Game 6 and 7 last year against Arizona, and then game 1 last night. 2-2 pitch is bounced foul. That 28-14 mark is still the best in Major League history for any venue that has seen at least 30 playoff games. This place has been open for 20 years. And really since about the late 2000s when Phillies started making their runs, it's seen a lot of playoff baseball and a lot of success. Iglesias goes down swinging on the changeup, and that'll retire the side. But Mark Vientos, a pair of extra base hits. You hear Candelita from Jose Iglesias, OMG, the song. He played a big role in Vientos' growth. Game 2 of the National League Division Series, presented by Booking.com. And Mundo Sosa with his first at bat of the playoffs. He will take a strike. He steps in for the all-star third baseman Alec Boehm, and when we asked Rob Thompson why the change, he said energy, and Mundo Sosa brings the energy that we need. Well, launch one away foul. Quickly 0-2. Did have the error back in the second inning, but Sanchez was able to leave that man stranded in Iglesias with the help of his defense. Your former teammate in St. Louis, Wayno.
Great player, great fielder, one of the great teammates. Mundo Sosa brings a lot of energy, just like Rob Thompson said.
Goes down swinging, though. That's a nasty sweeper. Severino saw opponents hit just 140 against that pitch this season. His 4th strikeout, the first on the sweeper.
Here it is again. This is the key, to try to get them to chase off the plate. And we know Sosa, as you mentioned in pregame, he's got a little bit more chase in him than most of these hitters, so you can exploit that off the plate.
There's Rojas showing bunt, pops it up, and that will drop foul. Rojas comfortable bunting. He had more sacrifice hits than anybody on this roster. In fact, was top 3 in Major League Baseball.
See the speed from Severino right there?
There was no speed.
No, it was speed, baby. Look at
Even
that.
Alvarez is checking on
Athletes out there.
Pitcher's tired from having to run 60 feet. Watch. Had to run 60
Look at
old
that.
feet.
Get off the mound, big fella.
Alvarez is like, all right, you need an oxygen mask out there?
Yeah, sometimes you're kind of got offended by your catcher giving you more time. You know, Yachty would give me more time out there sometimes, and I'd be like, man, look, I'm in shape. I run sprints, and then other times you'd be like, you know what, I need put your ego aside. I do need a couple of minutes.
6'2", 220-pound Severino deals. Rojas hits it hard towards left center. Coming on is Nimmo. That's going to drop down for a base hit.
Bueno, you played with Sosa. I get the Alec Boehm thing and the energy thing, but one thing about the Phillies is they chase a lot. So you take a guy in Alec Boehm, he only saw 7 pitches and 4 at-bats, and you throw Sosa in there who chases like as much as anybody in baseball. That might add to the chase factor. We saw him chase out of the zone and punch out. It's just an interesting time if you're Rob Thompson to send a message to Alec Boehm.
Here's Schwarber, and a foul tip, strike 1.
I think he's sending a message, or is he just giving him a day, just letting him, you know.
You're in the playoffs. You don't have a day. You're down 1-0. You don't have a day.
Yeah, but he believes in these guys. Sosa's been huge for him too.
A check back to first, and Rojas, who's a good base stealer, just got back in.
Close.
25 stolen bases in 29 tries this year. And Mendoza and the dugout thinking about a potential challenge. They have a short period of time to enact it. Mendoza is going to opt not to here.
Yeah, that if it had thrown it up the field a little bit, like you said yesterday, he would have been in trouble right there, AJ.
Well, the Phillies are going to be aggressive against Severino and Alvarez combination. We saw Trey Turner steal 2 bases in the first inning. Any chance they get, they're going to try and run. The Mets have been awful this year in holding base runners.
Another toss, a second disengagement, and back in safely is Rojas. So now you cannot disengage unless you actually record an out. Otherwise, it's a free base.
AJ, is Pete more off the base than most first basemen right here when he's fielding these balls?
No, that's where they've been taught.
Right-hand first baseman.
Right-handed first baseman move up the line. It shortens the throw and the tag.
There goes the runner. That's hit into right field. Marte is back along the track. He makes the catch, and now Rojas has to race back to first, and he'll get in safely. That ball gets away. Now Rojas is on his way to second, and indeed he'll end up there safely. A wild sequence, and after all that, Rojas lands at second. There are 2 down.
Oh, just gets in on Schwarber to the warning track. Rojas is stealing. He passes second base. Marte catches this. He does the right thing by touching second base, going back to throw. Alvarez is actually in the wrong spot right there. Alvarez has to back up that throw once he realizes Pete Alonso's there. And then you get to third base, there's nobody there. Just gets in on him just enough right there to not go out of the ballpark. But after that, right here, see, Alvarez is too close. Alvarez has to back up. Because you have Alonso and Severino so close to each other, Alvarez has to stay back. And then Pete Alonso busts his tail all the way to third base to actually cover third base because it was a vacant base.
I would actually say the same thing for Severino. Sevy got caught a little too close to first base right there. He's supposed to play back so he can back up that base too. I think at the end there he saw Pete break off the bag and he was going to try to go over and cover first, but he's really got to be back there as a free safety position. Kind of like same thing for Alvarez, right?
Yeah.
So here's Turner waving and missing. I think we just saw Jeremy Hefner come out for a visit. I think he was trying to give everybody a breather after that wild play. Severino's been running around a little bit. Let's see if Turner can deliver with a man at second. There goes Rojas. Nobody covering third, and it's the second time that a Philly has stolen third base as Vientos was playing back.
100%, Adam. That meeting from Jeremy Hefner was, let's give everybody on the infield a breather, because everybody ran all over the place, including his pitcher.
Ball and a strike. Turner off the end of the bat, pops it up. Iglesias is waiting for it. And the inning is over, and another man for Philadelphia left stranded at third base. Take a breath after a while.
And we've been able to get to some of those bullpens, but you know, Wheeler yesterday was pretty tough. The series against the Brewers was tough. You know, we're having some really good at-bats against Sanchez, and we got to continue to do that.
Your number 2 hitter and home run hitter today, Mark Vientos, spent most of the first month of this season in the minor leagues. How far has he come?
Oh, unbelievable. You got to give him credit, because he went through a lot early in the year when he didn't make the team out of spring training. You know, was in AAA, came back up, got sent back down, and finally got an opportunity and just ran with it. Proud of him.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tom, to your guys' point, it is the first time in 14 games that the Mets have held a 2 or more run lead in the first 3 innings. It was against Philadelphia. Martinez waves at a changeup and misses. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Phillies took a lead in that game 2-0. Or Mets took the lead, I should say, 2-0. Phillies tied it in the third. Mets scored 2 in the bottom of that inning to take a 4-2 lead to the 4th. Ooh, that gets a piece of Martinez. I thought it did not get a piece of him. I thought it hit him. Beg your pardon.
It sounded like it hit him.
Oh, it popped. It skipped in there. And then sent Martinez to the deck.
JD's going, I'm too old for that. Too old to be skipping rope.
That was almost a shin burger.
The 37-year-old back up on his feet. And he hits one fouled. Still 2-2.
JD's one of those players, too. When you get up next to him, you don't realize how big he is. He's a big man. That's why he's got such good right center pop.
We'll pull this one on the ground on 2 hops to Sosa. Makes a nice play with the glove and throws out Martinez. He's 6'3", 230-pounder. He's retired, and there's 1 down to the 4th. One down for Starling Marte, who lined out sharply to center. There's a strike. Chase that one out of the zone on that changeup. 0-2.
Inside.
Well, that's a close pitch, but inside, and it's 1-2.
That's a great pitch, and that's a great pitch, especially to Starling Marte. He has to feel you inside, or he'll just lean out over the plate. He can really drive it out there.
Harper coming up in the bottom of the inning. Late swing, defensive swing, and it's fouled away.
That's Starling Marte's approach. We talked about it yesterday. He's trying to go to right field. That's why you have to show him something inside. Like you said, Wayno, is you have to make him aware on a ball inside. He's got a big bandage on his left forearm where he got one inside yesterday.
And Sanchez pitches him inside with a fastball.
I think him being able to throw a couple of balls in there too is actually a good thing. If you're just commanding the strike zone.
On the ground towards third, it's a foul ball. Close.
That was close. Yeah, if you're just throwing strikes all the time, they never have to really move or fill you in there. But getting it off the plate in there, that's important.
Oof. Sanchez home with a 2-2. Got him on the changeup again. 3 of his 4 strikeouts have come on that changeup. You can play the MLB Playoffs Fox Super 6 Challenge today, free to play. Go download the Fox Sports app and make your picks for a chance to win your share of $5,000 in cash prizes. 2 down, bases empty for Francisco Alvarez, who got robbed of a base hit by a diving Bryce Harper back in the second. We told you Harper has gotten really solid at first base. Top 7 in baseball among first basemen in outs above average.
Sanchez looks good this inning. He looks like a different guy. He gave up the home run, but after that he has settled in.
He's retired the last 4. He's retired the last 5. Phillies trying to get their offense going. He leads it off in the 4th against Severino. And a breaking ball is checked. No swing. 1-0.
That sweeper looks tight tonight from Sevy.
See, this is where you got to challenge Harper. I know he did the whole thing on not pitching to him, but you got a 2-run lead. The worst thing that happens here is he pops one and makes it 2-1. But if you walk him and then someone pops one, it's 2-2. This is your opportunity as a pitcher and catcher. Go after him.
And go with a fastball in the inner part for a strike.
Right, because there are times not only in a series but in a game where after all the talk about we're not going to pitch to Harper, you got to show him something so that in the back of his mind he's like, they just might come after me.
Harper lifts one down the left field line. It is drawing foul. That was only the 2nd swing from Harper on the first 11 pitches he has seen today. So he's trying to be patient as he was early in game 1. Went down looking in the 1st on that borderline pitch at the top of the zone. 2-2 pitch to Bryce Harper, who waves and misses at a high fastball out of the zone.
Got him again with the sinker at the top. Sevy's really working that 2-seamer, that sinker at the very top of the zone. He's working the horizontal movement more than he is the vertical break when he tries to do that. Wants it to start kind of up and in and then work over the middle, and that's what he did perfectly.
One down for Castellanos. Being caught into that slider out of the zone.
I have a question for you, Wayno, because that's not a sinker, though, to me. That's a 2-seamer. Like, there's a difference in a sinker and a 2-seamer, right? A sinker goes more down. What he's trying to do is run a 2-seamer flat and have it move horizontally, right? So I don't know. Yes, we have to categorize it as a sinker, but to me, it's just a 2-seamer.
Well, there's different ways to handle that. There's different ways to hold the ball even that we can show later. But, you know, when you're trying to work the movement at the top, you just move your fingers over on the ball a little bit, get a little bit more of the horizontal, get underneath it just a hair, not too much.
That time Castellanos lays off, and you hear almost a sarcastic cheer. The crowd was booing Castellanos after he waved at 2 breaking balls out of the zone. And then after he takes that one in the dirt, the crowd kind of sarcastically gets behind him and is now re-engaged.
That's what I talked about, the pressure on the Phillies. It's when you're at home, it's a different thing.
Castellanos on another breaking ball, rolls it to short for Lindor. Good play to get the out. 2 down. AJ and Wayno, you guys were breaking down the shadows, the issues with what you're dealing with on the mound. Break this down.
Well, here's the 3 pitches that Severino most often uses. Again, you make a decision as a hitter right there. You also have this problem in the background, the shadows, right? The shadows, then the light in the back. As a hitter, you have to make a split-second decision, and you got pitches moving in every direction.
Bryson Stott takes ball 1.
Well, at some point, this great Philly lineup is going to have to put some runs across the board. They're just going to have to. Their pitchers are keeping them in the game. They're doing a great job. But this great Philly lineup's got to push some across.
Outside.
Stott ahead 2-0. Just one hit between Schwarber, Turner, Harper, and Castellanos their first 2 trips to the plate. Just 2 hits so far for Philadelphia. The 2-0 to Stott. There's a base hit right on cue into right field. Cut off by Marte, and a 2-out single for Bryson Stott will set it up for Real Muto.
And he's actually probably not the right guy to work at that 2-seamer at the top. He's much better middle in, and he's much better up than he is down. He runs that sinker down and away. That's where you would get Bryson.
Who's their best base stealer. Wonder if this is a spot to run. 32 stolen bases for Bryson Stott. The Phillies already have 3 in this game against Severino. There's a strike to Real Muto.
Severino slide step, though. First pitch.
There you go.
Short leg kick, slide step. And I think it actually fooled JT Real Muto on that first pitch. Everyone's used to the same cadence, the same tempo. Sometimes as a pitcher, if you mix it up, change your leg kick, it messes with the hitter also.
On a strike.
So glad you pointed that out, AJ. There's so many different ways of pitching. It's not just about throwing the ball over the plate, is it?
No. Yeah, the in vogue thing for a while was to not even come set and just pitch without a leg kick. LaTroy Hawkins started that, and a bunch of pitchers tried to do that. We used to call it the cheat pitch, Wayno, because you can't get me out with your regular windup. You're gonna not come set or not come home, together with no one on base. Quick pitch me.
Pitcher, yeah.
There goes the birthday boy Stott. The pitch is a strike. The throw down to second in time. Alvarez cuts down Stott, and it gets the Mets out of the inning. The folks in Philadelphia are starting to get a little restless. Harper strikes out. Castellano grounds out. Stott is thrown out. 2-0 New York. Take a look at StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Zach Wheeler's 9 strikeouts yesterday. Christopher Sanchez's 5 strikeouts today. More up for Wheeler, more down for Sanchez. And I would imagine, guys, as a hitter, that's got to be tough adjustment in terms of adjustment game to game. You're expecting stuff up. Now you got to look down. AJ, that's got to be really difficult.
100%. That's one of the reasons Rob Thompson wanted to use Sanchez after Wheeler, was because of the difference. Yes, right, left, but also up to down.
Ball and a strike on Harrison Bader to start off the 5th inning. 1-2. Sanchez home, and Bader with a defensive swing bounces it up the first base line and just called foul at the last moment by Doug Eddings, the first base umpire, which Philly fans disagree with. Yep, that's the right call. So new life for Bader on this one too.
Yeah, game 1, you know you're going to get 4 seams at the top with the best fastball in the game. Game 2, you're going to get the changeup and the sinker down from the best changeup in the game. Game 3, if they get to Nola, or they're going to Nola, Nola's going to pitch up and down. So as a hitter, you don't know what you're going to get each day. It's just such great alignment. I love mixing and matching like that, man. I think that's really good managing.
You talked about it at the top. Part of the reason that Sanchez, who's done really good work with that changeup so far today, is being used for game 2. His prowess at home, and the fact you get to mix up the righties and lefties. Suarez would be slated for game 4, the left-hander. Here are the strikeouts so far today for Christopher Sanchez. 5 of them.
They're all down. Look at them. They're all down. Most of them are out of the strike zone except for that one. But the rest of them have been down, moving down. And just what you talked about, Wayno. How do you get him to elevate? Easier said than done. And how do you not chase? Because it is just down, 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 down.
Battle here to start the 5th. Sanchez to Bader. The 9th pitch is looped towards shallow left field. Out is Turner. He's got it. And Sanchez wins the marathon for out number 1. He's now retired 6 straight Mets, 4 via the strikeout.
That was a great at bat by Harrison Bader and a great job by Christopher Sanchez. He just kept executing. Harrison does not like the ball down, and Harrison kept fouling off pitch, fouling off, trying to get the one he had. He missed the pitch before that was his pitch to hit, and Christopher just kept executing.
Back to the top, and Francisco Lindor with a swing and miss on the changeup. 9 of those today from Sanchez on that pitch. Oh, 1 to Lindor, and it's foul. Tom Verducci a little bit more on Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, remember, he missed 9 games down the stretch with that back injury. The Mets weren't sure how he would come back. It takes him 40 minutes to get that back ready before every game. In terms of stretching exercises, hot tub, getting on the reformer machine, he's been an on-base machine himself. Since he got back 8 games, he's been on base 15 times. He's been in the middle of every rally, it seems, including the one in the 3rd inning.
Waits for a 1-2 here and taps it up the third base line. That one is going to roll into fair territory and batted away by Sosa for a foul ball.
That almost stayed fair. That was close.
Was close.
That little tiny cut in the grass where the grass goes to the clay down that third base line gave it enough momentum to just squeak foul. This ball had a chance to stay fair, and when it goes over that little cut, touch it, because it was trying to come back again.
A little bit of English. Yep.
Right there, he should have touched it. As soon as this foul, touch it, because it starts coming back.
Sosa alert to knock that ball, to keep it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mets have a couple of infield singles already. Lindor waits for another 1-2 from Sanchez. It's bounced towards Harper, who smoothly gloves it for out number 2. And that'll bring up Mark Vientos, who was 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts against Christopher Sanchez entering the day. He's 2 for 2 today with 2 extra base hits, including the 2-run 3rd inning homer. Sanchez, outside of the mistake to Vientos, has pitched very well so far.
Outside.
Backdoor slider misses, and it's 1-0. Waves and misses. It's 1-1. Tom Verducci asked Carlos Mendoza in our interview with the Mets manager about Vientos. Again, Brett Beatty was the slotted third baseman. The expectations of him playing. Vientos got his opportunity at the end of April when Starling Marte went on the bereavement list. Came up against St. Louis, hit a walk-off home run, and then was sent back down to AAA the next day because Marte was back from the bereavement list. Had to wait around for an opportunity, then finally got the chance to be the everyday third baseman. He's had a lot of help. David Wright, the former captain and stalwart at third base, Jose Iglesias, the veteran, they've all kind of taken Vientos under their wing, and it's paid dividends. Close pitch. Foxbox had it as a strike, but it misses. It's 3-1 to Vientos.
All he did was hit 27 home runs when given the opportunity. Been a great player. Led them in slugging percentage this year.
Second in OPS behind Lindor as Ruiz is loosening. There's that backdoor slider. It clips the corner for a strike.
I was wondering if we were going to see the breaking ball against Vientos. He's hit the sinker and the changeup so far.
First full count of the day. And it's outside for ball 4. Vientos is aboard for a 3rd time.
Vientos is having himself a nice day. Double his first at bat, 2-run homer, and then a good at bat to walk. And we're getting here in the end here of Sanchez. He's at 87 pitches. We showed Jose Ruiz up. This very well could be Mr. Sanchez's last inning.
This is the only lefty in the lineup in Nimmo. So very well could be the last hitter that Sanchez faces. Line out to center and an infield single for Nimmo. Doug Eddings, who's the umpire at first base, giving Sanchez a warning. Saw him motioning as if he was coming to the set with that glove. Nimmo hits it to Harper. Another sparkling defensive play. Another key play at first base by Harper to end the top of the fifth. We're halfway through game 2. Mets lead Philadelphia 2-0. And Sosa against Luis Severino. Home half of the fifth starts with a strike. Real Muto was at the plate when Bryson Stott was caught stealing to end the fourth. Popped up and out of play, and it's quickly 0-2. Remember, Schwarber had the home run on the third pitch that Kodai Senga threw in the bottom of the first yesterday. Since the second inning of game 1, only one earned run allowed by Mets pitching, and the Phillies hitting just 167 in that stretch. They have just 8 hits so far in the series.
Something to watch for here. Yes, Severino has been great. Only 3 hits through 4 innings. First 4 innings of this season, 3.3 ERA. After the fourth, over a 5. So this is the Phillies' chance. And even Carlos Mendoza said it when we talked to him. Last time he pitched against these guys, he was cruising, had a lead, gave up a homer to Harper, kind of cruised again, gave up another home run to Harper. So Carlos Mendoza, the Mets manager right here, is going to have him on a very tight leash with a loaded bullpen.
Real Muto swings at the cutter and misses. Tailing away for out number 1. 6th Severino strikeout.
Sevy's comfortable in this situation. This is his 12th playoff start, correct? 12th playoff start. He's pitched at Yankee Stadium all the other ones. He's comfortable here.
Here's Marsh with 1 down. Sweeper does not go the way of Severino that time, according to Edwin Moscoso. Back-to-back starts for Severino against Philadelphia. Gave up 3 runs on 3 hits in a 6-inning no decision on September the 14th. And then on the 19th, 3 runs, 5 hits in 6 innings in that 10-6 win against Philadelphia. Marsh lifts it in the air, right center. Marte is over towards the gap, and he's got it for round number 2.
My question is, who's going to be the guy for Philadelphia? There's got to be somebody in that lineup, in that dugout, that's going to have to step up and get a big hit for him. Drive one out of the park, get the crowd back into this game. Get on base, Trey Turner, get on base, steal bases, have Bryce Harper drive you in. There has to be somebody down there, and who's it going to be?
Here's Edmundo Sosa, who struck out back in the 3rd. No swing. Christopher Sanchez has done everything he can to keep the Phillies in the game. It's only 2-0. And again, as you mentioned earlier, it's really only that one mistake to Vientos. Everything else, the defense has played well. It's still only 2-0. But this Philadelphia offense is trying to find a spark. They do have Cody Clemens on deck. Don't forget, Alec Boehm is available off the bench after not getting the start. Sosa getting the start, and Boehm still cheering on. Clemens came up yesterday late in a pinch hit spot in his playoff debut and had an RBI double to bring home JT Real Muto for the 2nd Philadelphia run. 2-1 pitch. Here's a strike on a fastball.
How much does this game feel like yesterday's game? Wheeler dealing. They were only up 1-0, right? The Mets are only up 2-0. They're a bloop and a blast away from this game tied. If you're the Mets, you want to score more. If you're the Phillies, you just got to get somebody to get that big hit for you.
Severino to Sosa, 2-2 pitch, and Sosa rolls it to third. Backhand Vientos, tough throw, tough play in time. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 fifth. On to the sixth. Jose Ruiz, who came on for his first major league save in the regular season finale a week ago. He deals to Pete Alonso to lead things off in the top half of the sixth inning. Just the second career playoff appearance for Jose Ruiz. Made one appearance for the White Sox in 2021. Was an Arizona Diamondback last year, 34 appearances, but did not appear in the postseason for Arizona. 264 regular season games, and now playoff appearance number 2. Nice looking curveball. That's the pitch along with the fastball that he likes to use the most. It's 1-2. Alonso sends one high in the air to right. Back on it, Castellanos at the wall, looking up, and Alonso goes deep. Another opposite field shot of the playoffs, and it's 3-0 New York. When Alonso's going good, the opposite field power is on display. It has been over the last 2 weeks. Here is Iglesias.
Well, you mentioned Ruiz's curveball. He threw him 3 curveballs in that bat. Third one was too high, too much of the plate, and OMG, Pete Alonso went oppo again.
Broken bat from Iglesias, snared by Ruiz for the first out.
Here's the curveball again. KJ said it's at the very top of the zone, and right here at Citizens Bank Ballpark, you can go down the line on either side really well. Straight away center field plays fair, but you get a ball up, get a barrel to it, get a ball up down the lines here, AJ, you always got a chance.
JD Martinez fouls the first pitch. He was a much more prolific opposite field hitter early in his career. Obviously, he set the rookie record with 53 homers 5 years ago. Martinez loops it into left field. That's a base hit. He's aboard with 1 out. There was a stretch this year where not very many hits for extra bases for Alonso were going the other way. He only had 4 home runs this season that would be considered opposite field home runs, going to right or right center. But a couple of those came in the last couple of weeks of the season. We saw it in Game 3 against Milwaukee, and now this one goes the opposite field too.
And on off-speed pitches too. The changeup from Devin Williams against Milwaukee, and then the curveball for Ruiz here. It's only 1 run, but that 1 run, it took the air out of this place. Just because the Philly fans now are thinking, are we ever going to score?
Ruiz trying to keep this game where it's at 3-0, and he's quickly behind of Marte 2-0. Who is going to step up for Philadelphia offensively? They do have 9-1-2 coming up. Marte fouls it, 2-1.
I think the tendency probably, you get down in these situations, is to press a little bit. Everybody's trying to hit home runs. But when the Phillies are at their best, they're doing what the Mets are doing. They pass the baton, they get on base, they steal, they hit singles, they get extra base hits when they get the right pitches, but they're tough.
Marte out to center field. Rojas dancing. He's got it for the second out. Martinez heading back to first.
You just can't try to do too much, Adam, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Pete Alonso's, that was like a home run derby pitch that Pete Alonso in the home run derby, out over the plate. This Philly fan,
not holding on to that.
Pretty good arm action right there. And when Pete's going right, he's using right field.
Laced by Alvarez into left field. That's a 2-out single as he goes after the first pitch for the second time today. And you can sense the restlessness again from the crowd at this great atmosphere. Typically, they are starting to feel some pressure, and I imagine these Phillies are too. 2 on, 2 out in the 6th. And the Philadelphia bullpen is starting to stir again. Orion Kirkring, who used just 8 pitches in his outing to finish off the 8th inning in Game 1, begins to loosen up behind Ruiz. And now a quick word from FanDuel.
This MLB season, FanDuel is taking you out to every ball game.
The best home record in baseball this year belonging to Philadelphia at 54-27. They won 2 out of every 3 they played in this ballpark during the regular campaign.
This is just a great opportunity in my mind for Philly. They get out of this right here, keep them at 3. The opportunity is there to steal all the momentum back. If they can come back and win this game and even the series, it would be a huge flip of the script.
Harrison Bader takes ball 1. Still a long way to go. 12 outs at the plate for Philadelphia. And 12 outs for the New York pitching staff to try and record. 2 on, 2 out for Bader, and a 1-0 from Ruiz. 2-0.
Yes, but the Phillies have to do it next inning.
That's
if
when
they
their
get out of
boppers are
this
coming.
inning, you have the top of the order coming up. Yes, you have 9-1-2, but you've got to start it next inning. You can't just wait and hope the Mets bullpen implodes, because it's been pretty good here.
Towards short, caught by Turner, and indeed the 9 spot will be due up in the next half inning. Pete Alonso start. Nothing. Severino to Cody Clemens. He steps in to pinch hit in the 9 spot for Rojas. If Clemens gets on base, the complexion of this game changes. Schwarber and Turner and Harper are looming. Pinch hit RBI double in the 9th last night. Clemens had some clutch moments during the regular season. Skies this one, foul 1-2. Severino has been very sharp overall. Just 3 hits allowed. He has stranded 2 men in scoring position at third base so far. 1-2 to Clemens. Down the right field line towards the corner. That is a foul ball. That would have shifted a lot around, because he's at second base with nobody out and the top of the Philadelphia order coming up. And then Carlos Mendoza has some thinking to do.
You guys got to start trying to build an inning if you're the Phillies. Cody Clemens get on base. Schwarber get on base. Got to get the tying run to the plate at some point in these next 12 outs if you're the Philadelphia Phillies.
Breaking ball fouled away.
Let's also not forget what Carlos Mendoza told us. Edwin Diaz is available, as we see the Rocket. But Edwin Diaz is available for at least 4 outs today, since he didn't pitch yesterday with the off day tomorrow. So you got to start counting outs now if you're the Phillies.
There is Diaz. Another 1-2 to Clemens towards left center. Bader had the beat on it, and he has it for out number 1.
Momentum can swing fast here. You know, especially with these guys at the top of the order, like you said. One swing of the bat. There's a lot of different ways you could get your team fired up. Sometimes it's on the pitching side. Sometimes you throw one maybe a little bit farther in than you normally would. Brush the guy back. Get the tempers flaring a little bit. You've got to wake them up somehow, whether it's with the bat or with the arm.
Schwarber trying to flip that script you just saw. Suddenly anemic Philadelphia offense. Top 5 in scoring, top 7 in homers during the regular season. Trying to find some life against Severino, who's been excellent. An 0-1 to Schwarber. On the ground to first, and Alonso's there. Flip to Severino, and there's 2 down here in the 6th inning.
You see what Severino did after he caught that ball? He's feeling it. You see him, his little dance step right there? He is feeling it right now. He looks up the scoreboard, 3-0. recovers first. Pretty routine ground ball here to old Polar Bear Pete. Watch Severino after he catches his ball. Yeah, he's getting out of Schwarber's way, but it's a little swaggy.
He knows the train's coming through there. He also just executed perfectly the pitch he was trying to.
Now he deals to Turner. Turner has one of the 3 Philadelphia hits, a 76-mile-an-hour floater that got him aboard through the right side in the first. Stole a couple of bases, ended up at third, but was left stranded by Severino. Harper on deck, hoping he gets a shot with Turner on base. A 1-1 is fouled back, and Severino 1 strike away from getting out of this inning with no damage done, and still just at 75 pitches through 5 2/3.
And he went with the sweeper 3 times in a row. Does he chase him out farther, or does he burn him up high with that good 4-seamer?
Home of the 1-2. And it is fouled. It was the sweeper.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting him trying to chase. The Phillies chase. Severino's in control. Trey Turner will chase one down and away. He tried to get him there. He just fouled it off. But yeah, definitely tried to get him to chase out of the zone.
Home of the 1-2. Breaking ball hit through the hole. It's short, a base hit for Turner.
And sometimes that's what happens when you try to get him a little bit further out there. You overthrow it just a little bit, and that's what Sevy does here. Just overthrows it, starts at middle end. That's danger zone to Trey Turner too. That's usually where his home runs come, right there, middle end, that backup breaking ball.
See this meeting right here? This is a discussion of how they're going to attack Bryce Harper. Are we going to attack him? Because I said last night, and it was after the game was over, if they're going to continue to pitch Bryce Harper the way they did in Game 1, Nick Castellanos will be the biggest guy in this series. If he doesn't perform and hit, once they pitch around Bryce Harper, it could be over quickly here for the Phillies.
There's Castellanos waiting on deck as the potential tying run. Harper to the plate, having struck out twice on fastballs, looking in the top of the first on a borderline pitch, and then he chased a high fastball out of the zone in the 4th.
I expect they are going to keep the ball away from Bryce. They're going to keep something moving away from him with a changeup, with a sinker away.
Starts away, ball 1.
That's probably what they're going to do. If they run to 2-0 here, they may put him on even.
An unintentional walk,
yeah,
so to speak.
I mean, I know there's somebody on first, but they're going to pitch very, very tough here.
1-0. Harper waves and misses on a pitch a little lower out of the zone. 1-1.
Well, that's where you get him right there. That down and away spot right there. There's really not much slug from Bryce down and away. So if you can keep it down there, you're fine. I just don't. Those breaking balls coming back into his swing are very dangerous right now.
Foul back, and it's 1-2 on a fastball.
I climbed the ladder right here. He's punched him out twice on high fastballs. I tried to do it again.
I'm thinking outside, exactly against the script I just said. If he runs that sweeper back foot right here, it kind of resets the trap to go back up the way afterwards, but I wouldn't be mad about the fastball up either.
A 1-2 pitch, and he tried the high fastball at 99. Severino's hardest pitch of the day coming late in the 6th inning.
Would have worked better after the back foot slider.
But yeah, you can't take a risk of making a mistake.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'd rather that miss than a missed slider for a homer.
Fastball punched to the air, deep center field. Back it goes, and Bryce Harper brings life to Philadelphia. It's 3-2. Strike one to Castellanos. Harper ties Schwarber with his 12th career Philadelphia playoff homer, and it makes it a one-run game.
Sometimes, Wayno, you scratch your head as a catcher.
Castellanos, deep to left, just like that. This game is tied. Stott goes around 0-1. It took 3 pitches to awaken the Philadelphia Phillies. Harper and Castellanos. Nothing in 2.
That's as I was saying, though, listen, sometimes you scratch your head. They had a meeting. Hey, let's not let Harper beat us. They were trying to throw one over his head almost. Throws it right down the middle, homer. Then he hangs the sweeper to Castellanos. It is amazing how the momentum flipped in 1 pitch.
That's the momentum that I was talking about. You get this Philly crowd rocking. The top of the order has the ability to switch it really quick here at Citizens Bank especially.
0-2 to Stott. Inside.
It was pretty quiet here a second ago. It's not quiet anymore. Look at that fastball just right down the middle. Sevy knows it right away. Bryce knows it right away. Everybody knew this one right away.
A little bit high. 2-2 on Stott.
Severino was in complete control. And the one, but he made a mistake to Turner, hung the slider. Then he made a mistake to Harper for the home run. Hung another slight sweeper to Castellanos, and this place is crazy now.
And we saw Jose Butto begin to warm up in the New York bullpen behind Severino, who's about to throw his 90th pitch of the day. Two-two. Fouled back by Stott.
Interestingly enough, when we started seeing the harder fastballs is when he lost command.
Almost like he knew this might be his last inning and was trying to finish off strong. Maybe a few overthrows, as you guys talked about.
Yeah, I think he started overthrowing just a little bit.
7th pitch to Stott is waved on and missed to end the inning. They were dead in the water for 5 innings, and then in 3 pitches, Harper and Castellanos flipped the game to tie it up. 3 apiece. It's a brand new game 2 in the NLDS. On to the late innings we go. To get the final 2 outs of the 8th inning yesterday after the Mets had scored 5 runs. Lindor fouls it. It's 0-2. We've got a 3-3 ball game now. After the back-to-back home runs by Harper and Castellanos, and this crowd is back to life. Defensive changes as well, with Kirkering coming in. Clemens stays in the game. He will play in left field. That will slide Marsh over to center. They're not as good defensively without Rojas. Lindor fouls it away, but Clemens did make some nice plays out in left field, including a great catch to finish the regular season. He's going to have to be alert. Lindor goes down on a sweeper. You guys set it up wonderfully. You can't make a mistake to Harper. Severino did, and that started the rally.
Just right down the middle. And then this one is a hanging sweeper. Castellanos knew it right away. And the atmosphere, the mood in this stadium on the swing by Harper completely changed. It is rocking here at the bank.
Vientos takes ball one. Vientos has reached base 4 straight times in this series, as Castellanos and Harper deliver their best attributes. Big time home runs. There's a strike to Vientos, 1-1.
Wayno, how big of an inning is this for the Phillies from the pitching standpoint? You got to get your boys back in there, right? To swing again. They're back almost, you know, this is the top of the order for the Mets. You bring in one of your power relievers. You got to go 1, 2, 3. Get the boys back in the dugout with the crowd behind them to try to get the lead.
Call it the shutdown inning. This is a huge shutdown inning. Get your offense back out there. The chance to take the lead.
Strike 2 to Vientos. Three and 2.
I could play that from the other side too. This would be a huge offensive run if the Mets could push one back across here and try to take some of that momentum and life back out of this stadium. That would be huge.
Payoff pitch on the outside corner for called strike 3.
Just a perfect pitch. Vientos doesn't like it. That ball is just perfectly placed on the outside corner for a strikeout looking.
I love how JT receives that too. Just so quiet. See his movements. He's not yanking it all the way across there. He holds it right on the corner. Gives the guy a really long look at it.
1-0 on Brandon Nimmo. And there's that breaking ball. This is a sweeper that Real Muto was able to quietly bring for a strike. There's that backdoor sweeper, 2-1. And that's the pitch Kerkering uses the most, 56% of the time. The 2-1. One outside. High leverage count. Nimmo launches it towards right. Castellanos twisting around, turning around, watches it go. And Brandon Nimmo responds. And the Mets regain the lead. It's 4-3 in the 7th.
They just keep doing it, AJ. They keep coming back. They keep responding. Got a heavyweight fight out there.
Steve Cohen looks on. Nimmo and Real Muto exchanged a look and some words. And New York is on top in the 7th again.
A mistake though. 3-1 count. Your best pitch is a sweeper. You just can't miss down to a left-handed hitter, especially one like Brandon Nimmo. His hot spot is down. He throws this ball down right into it.
And now here's Alonso. Ball 1. First career playoff home run for Brandon Nimmo, who's been playing all weekend with a heavy heart. There's a strike, 1-1. Saw that little exchange between he and Real Muto.
They're still kind of going at it a little bit. Like, I wonder what JT said to him. It wasn't like Nimmo stood there and watched it.
Inside on Alonso. He mentioned that Nimmo hit that first playoff home run and he was chatting with JT Real Muto on the way to the plate. Alonso will take ball 4.
He looked like he was yapping kind of towards the Phillies dugout a little bit. Like his eyes weren't at JT. They were more first base dugout area.
I think I heard him say something about Sanchez. I wonder if somebody like Sanchez was over there chirping maybe.
Now Caleb Cotham will make his way out.
I don't know, but I like it because now we got some fire.
Now a quick word from Loan Depot.
Over the years, you've built equity in your home. And when you need money for life's necessities, your home can pay you back. Visit us online and learn how you could access $45,000 or more today.
All the champagne celebrations on Thursday for New York after their comeback against Milwaukee. Nimmo actually told reporters that he had learned his grandmother had passed away about an hour before the game on Thursday began. He's obviously been in the thick of a lot of these big moments over the course of the last week. He said he didn't tell anybody around the team. His grandmother had gone to the hospital the day before on Wednesday. Said he was fortunate to have visited his grandmother recently and was referencing the big comeback against Milwaukee. I know she would have loved that. She would have been cheering for the whole team. A pretty emotional weekend, and I would imagine there was some emotion behind that swing for Nimmo as he puts the Mets back on top here in the 7th. Alonso aboard with 2 down for Iglesias, who tried to check, could not. It's 0-2. Crowd to its feet in Philadelphia again. Runner takes off, and into second base goes Alonso, and no throw. Big insurance run waiting at second base. 2 strikes on Iglesias, who's seen a lot of 2-strike pitches in this postseason. Outside 2-2. Rob Thompson looking for solutions. That's fouled away by Iglesias on a fastball. Two-two pitch is called strike 3. Iglesias disagrees. 3 strikeouts in the frame. But in between all of that, Brandon Nimmo, who has stepped up in big moments all year. He stuns Kirkering. A response to nothing. Our game summary is sponsored by GoDaddy. And it's been the long ball in game 2. It was Vientos and Pete Alonso. A 2-run shot from Vientos. A solo job by Alonso in the 6th. It made it 3-0 Mets. Finally, the Philadelphia offense came to life in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-run blast by Harper with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Castellanos came to the plate next, backed him up to tie the game at 3, and then the response in a potential shutdown inning. Nimmo comes through with a home run to make it 4-3 in the 7th. All 7 runs via the long ball. Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, AJ Pierzynski, Tom Verducci on the field. Our excellent Fox Sports crew, our statistician Ed Svita. And this is the type of offense that I think most people saw during the regular season. Teams with a lot of power, they can produce quickly. Now it's shown up in game 2 on both sides.
All the runs today are off the home run. Phillies and Mets. Now the Mets have been playing a little more small ball. Phillies known for their power. Finally showed up in the last inning. But boom, Brandon Nimmo hits the home run. Now they're back behind.
Well, the last couple half innings here and yesterday, it's all about execution. We've seen the starter Wheeler executed for 7 straight. Sevy came out there the first 5, executed everything, but then he got a little sloppy this last half inning. And then last inning, Nimmo did the same thing. Execution, fastball right down the middle in a 3-1 count. In this stage of the game, with these lineups, it's all about execution.
So now the Mets go into the bullpen as Severino is back in line for the win after the Nimmo home run. Jose Butto is on, a starter this year who has slid into the bullpen. And he deals ball 1 to JT Real Muto. One of the big moves this season for the Mets was to move Butto into the pen. That helped solidify things as they were dealing with multiple injuries and dealing with some struggles from Edwin Diaz, who is up in the New York pen. There's a swing and miss. It's 1-1.
And don't forget what happened to Buto last time he pitched, though.
That's
Game
right.
3, he gave up the 2 home runs to the Brewers that put him in that 2-0 hole before Pete Alonso hit the big 3-run homer.
There is Diaz, who, as AJ mentioned earlier, can probably get you 4 outs in this game.
It's only the 7th.
Might be a high leverage spot coming soon. Oof, that hits Real Muto. Buto tagged him, and the tying run is on base for Philadelphia in the 7th.
That's the kind of thing right there that'll fire a lineup up. Everybody's top step now.
First time all game long that Philadelphia has the leadoff man on base, and it's Real Muto wearing one near the hip.
And he'll take that happily. Why? Gets him on base, brings the go-ahead run to the plate, and it makes this crowd go crazy again.
For Brandon Marsh, ball 1. Ball and a strike on Marsh, and Alec Boehm has picked up a bat and has moved to the on-deck circle after going 0 for 4 in game 1 and closing the season cold. The All-Star could have a major role in game 2. A 1-1. Foul back, 1-2 on Marsh.
These scripts are writing themselves, Adam.
We're just along for the ride, man. This is cool. Now Tyler McGill has joined Diaz in the New York pen. 1-2 pitch outside.
I'm just trying to figure out why Diaz is up. He's not going to give him 8 outs, is he?
I think this is probably for the top of the order coming up.
Wow. Okay.
High leverage potentially in the 8th. If it gets out of hand, it might be in the 7th. Maybe somebody else comes in. But if this goes to the 8th and Schwarber, Harper, and Turner, and maybe Castellanos are coming, maybe that's Diaz time. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Marsh. Inside, knocked down by Alvarez, and Real Muto stays. Marsh fouls it away again, fighting off another Buto offering. Buto allowed those 2 homers on Thursday back-to-back after he had only given up 6 homers in 74 innings all year between 7 starts and 23 relief appearances. A check to first, and Real Muto, not too far off the bag, is back in safe.
JT runs really well too for a catcher. I know he's had some knee problems, but he still runs really well. No offense, AJ.
He's not going anywhere.
Payoff. Marsh pops it up. Center field, Bader. There's the first out. Real Muto will stay at first. National League Division Series continues next with Game 2 between the Padres and the Dodgers on FS1. Then Tigers, Guardians, and Royals, Yankees tomorrow on TBS. Here comes Alec Boehm. Two for his last 31 after a fabulous first half. Alec Boehm not in the starting lineup. Rob Thompson texted him to let him know what his plans were. Boehm was not pleased, as you might imagine, but he gets an opportunity as the go-ahead run in the 7th. Pops up the first pitch to the left side. Vientos has it. 4 out, number 2.
That was a great pitch. Just perfectly executed. Two-seam running up on the hands, up and in, right on the corner. The horizontal movement there gets you thinking it's down the middle, and then it just shoots right up on the hands. Look at that movement. See how he has to pull his hands way in to try to get inside that ball? Great pitch.
Cody Clemens. Ball 1. Clemens flew out when he pinch hit for Rojas in the 6th. He's trying to keep the inning going to get to the top of the order, and Schwarber.
Cody Clemens has got to be made to swing the bat right here. You cannot. You got to throw this one down the middle, almost down the middle. But this has to be a strike. You cannot have Schwarber come up after a walk.
Cue shot towards the left side. Tough play. Lindor cannot glove it cleanly. Would have been a difficult play to get anybody out on that play, as that was cued in between the 2 defenders, Vientos and Lindor. It is an infield single, and the go-ahead run is aboard, and Clemens with Schwarber coming up.
Here he comes.
There's the signal. So you're wondering, why is Edwin Diaz up? There's your answer.
Is now streaming.
3, a tenuous lead with 2 down in the 7th and 2 on base, and Edwin Diaz getting the call in the 7th inning. Did get up yesterday, but did not come into the game. 105 pitches between Sunday and Thursday for Diaz. Now he faces Schwarber, who he has played well against. 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. Behind in the count, 1-0.
Only thing I worry about here with Diaz, strikes. Schwarber won't chase. Yes, he has numbers against him. But can he throw enough strikes? You bring him in here in a huge situation against a guy that normally doesn't chase a whole lot.
No one has hit more playoff home runs from the left side than Kyle Schwarber. Oh, man, I got the slider. Whew, that's a tough pitch. 1-1.
And that's why Schwarber this year off Diaz, 0 for 5 punchies. Because of that pitch right there. Looks so good. Schwarber's trying to get to his heater. Drops that slider under his hands.
Cue shot foul, 1-2.
Keep chasing him with the slider, AJ. You burn the fastball up.
Slider.
I don't like any fastball up actually to Schwarber. If you're gonna throw the fastball, throw it down and away.
No. If you're gonna throw a fastball, you throw it where he can't reach it. And you throw the slider down at his back foot and make him chase.
A 1-2 pitch outside. Two on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes in game 2. Diaz to Schwarber. Fouled away.
Yeah, you see that swing right there. He's uncomfortable down there. Down the way, didn't get it all the way down even, but he got it out there enough where Kyle's not really driving that ball.
No, but he can fight that off. He can't fight a slider off down in the zone.
Yeah, but the trap is reset now. Now you can back foot that slider.
Another 2-2. And that's what he tried to do. It's in the dirt. The runners will be on the move on 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 7th. The payoff pitch. Did he go around? He did, according to the third base umpire, Carlos Torres, and the inning is over. For the players you believe have the best performance this season, terms and conditions apply. First pitch to J.D. Martinez is grounded to Alec Bohm, who came in to pinch hit. He stays into play third, and he makes the play on the first pitch, throwing out J.D. Martinez to begin the 8th inning. So he's in at third. The trade deadline acquisition from Baltimore, Austin Hayes, takes over in left field to give them more solidarity defensively. And then another trade deadline acquisition from the Angels, Carlos Estevez, is on. One pitch to get Martinez, and now he faces Starling Marte. And deals a strike.
You're going to see a lot of that from Estevez. A lot of heaters, heavy heaters, 98, 99. He trusts that fastball, and then he'll mix in a slider and a changeup, but he is heavy, heavy heater.
Onside.
Foul back by Marte, 1-2 the count. Diaz to Schwarber to end that last half inning.
Hitters get over aggressive in big situations, Wayno, as you know. And yes, he knew it right away. He tried to fake it, but he didn't make it. Right? But
it's so tough to lay off that with you got 100 too.
We got 100 from Diaz. You want to get the hit, so you want to be the guy to get a hit. So you tease him. You throw the ball, the slider that starts as a strike. And Schwarber now this year 0 for 6 with 6 tickets punched from Edwin Diaz.
2-2 is waved on and missed on a slider. Marte goes down swinging. So Estevez, the Philadelphia closer, one of them is in now. Diaz was in the last inning in the 7th, Tom Verducci.
Just a masterful move by the rookie manager Carlos Mendoza on so many levels. He knows the math. That's probably, if things go right, the last time he will have to see the top of the Philadelphia order. Get your best pitcher in the game in a one-run situation. Now, that only happens with communication before the game to make sure he's ready. And if you noticed how early that inning Diaz was up, well prepared for that situation, that when those spots came around, that was a high leverage spot, as high as it can be against the top of the order. One-run game, doesn't matter, 7th inning.
And you still have Turner, Harper, and Castellanos due up in the bottom of the 8th inning for Philadelphia. 0-1. Alvarez shoots it into right field. Coming on Castellanos, he's got it. It's a 1-2-3 8th inning work by Estevez. And with the Phillies trailing by 1, 2, 3, and 4 are coming up. In the bottom of the 8th, with the Phillies trailing by 1, Edwin Diaz is out there. Diaz, as Tom Verducci broke down, we'll see how long he is in this game. He's got Turner, Harper, Castellanos in this inning. He had a 6-out save against the Phillies a couple of weeks ago. He has never had a 7-out save in his major league career. That would take them to the end of the game.
Listen, this is so intriguing. How long can he go?
2-2 on Turner.
How far can he finish this game? Can Edwin Diaz come in the 7th inning, give you 7 outs if you're Carlos Mendoza? You got to watch him very closely.
2-2 pitch. Turner lays off. It's 3-2.
I think it all depends on how quick he can get these outs. If he gets some quick outs this inning, don't be surprised if he goes back out for the night.
Payoff pitch. Got him on the slider. And another strikeout of Trey Turner by Edwin Diaz.
Edwin Diaz is not a fun at bat for righty or a lefty. He's got a funky motion, a weird leg kick, just something you don't see every day, and he's so whippy with his arm. And then, oh yeah, he's got 100 and a nasty slider behind him.
Harper only has 2 hits and 15 at bats against Diaz, but both are homers. It was Harper that woke the Phillies up with a 2-run shot in the 6th inning off of Severino. Castellanos followed it up with a game-tying solo homer. Nimmo's home run in the 7th inning put New York back on top. 2-0.
See where Alvarez set up on that pitch? Again, I mean, he was in the other batter's box. Right here, this has got to be a slider or a fastball that he cannot reach.
Outside. 3-0.
Again, 3-0. I don't care. It's 3-0. You don't give him anything to hit right here.
You're getting nasty here on 3-0. Treat 3-0 like 0-2 right here, AJ.
He did. Ball 4, and the tying run is on base for Castellanos.
Look at the pitch count. It's already 17.
Yep.
He's got 5 more outs to get. Do you run here? If you're Bryce Harper, Diaz is super slow to the plate. Harper can run. The Mets have had trouble holding runners all year. That's close to 2 seconds to home plate.
Strike 1 to Castellanos. To right field and down for a base hit. Harper hustling. He's going to go first to third. And the tying run is 90 feet away for Philadelphia.
The biggest guy in the lineup, Nick Castellanos for the Phillies. If they're not going to pitch to Bryce Harper, Castellanos has to either do what he did 2 at-bats ago and go deep, or do this right here and shoot a single right. That is Nick Castellanos.
Yep.
Swing perfectly. Now, Bryson Stott, who homered off Edwin Diaz earlier this year, comes up in the biggest at-bat so far in this series. You have got to figure out a way to drive Bryce Harper in from third.
I watched Castellanos in batting practice today. He did not pull 1 baseball. Everything was right center and to the right of that. That right there off Edwin Diaz is exactly what he wanted to do.
Here is Stott. Strike 1 to Stott. The infield's playing about halfway in here.
It's a weird alignment, especially for Lindor. They're in, but they're also kind of in double play-ish. Stott runs well.
1-1.
Yeah, he could come home or turn 2 right there, couldn't he? Don't you think? If this hit the right way?
It depends on how the ball's hit. If the ball's hit softly and they come in, they'll probably go home to try to get Harper. If it's hit sharply at an infielder, they're trying to turn 2 on Stott.
A 1-1. 2-1.
It's a big hole to the left side.
Yeah, you saw the first pitch. Diaz is going to try to go in on him. He's going to throw him sliders coming in. He's going to pitch to where their defense is aligned. If Bryson Stott hits a ground ball to the left side, tip your captain.
In there for a strike, 2-2. High drama in the 8th. The 2-2. Outside and the count runs full. Alvarez held it there for Moscoso. 3-2.
That's where he's trying to hit that strikeout hole, up and away to Bryson Stott.
The payoff pitch. In the right field. Fair ball. This game is tied. Harper is in. Castellanos getting the sign to come home. He will score. Philadelphia leads. Bryson Stott has put the Phillies on top. To 4 in the 8th. Tyler McGill is on to face JT Realmuto. The infield is in for New York with 1 out. And a big cut at a sinker, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. McGill was a potential backup to Kodai Senga for game 1. He is on here in a big spot in game 2. The Phillies have taken the lead. Fouled away, 0-2.
This inning and last inning, bringing in Diaz, there's just so much discussion we could have. Starting with, you walk Harper on 4 pitches. You don't even try to attack him. Is it better, Waino, to possibly give up the game-tying homer or put a guy on base where then you have chaos?
1-2.
Well, I mean, to your point, I think that's the right play, because if you pitch to Harper and he hits another homer there, you're never going to hear the end of it. But you have complete confidence in your closer, one of the best in the entire game of baseball, to get those next couple guys. And to your point, Castellanos and Stott behind him, they came through when they needed to.
1-2 pitch. A tapper. Third baseman Vientos cannot make the play, and the run scores. 6-4 Philadelphia. Almost like a receiver who took his eyes off the ball a little bit too early, trying to think about making the play at home.
Yeah, he just never got the grip on it, did he? Never had it in his hand.
Great base running by Bryson Stott. If we can show the high home camera where he gets a great jump. He was going on contact right away. Got a great jump, put pressure on the Mets, and Vientos, fielder's choice RBI, but a great base running job by Bryson Stott.
And a huge second insurance run, because you know this Mets team, they don't stop. They keep coming.
Watch his jump. Contact, go. Vientos knows he has to hurry because Stott can run. Pressure, pressure.
Would have been a close play even if he makes it.
And it just looked like Vientos had started to look towards home plate without having that ball secure and gripped. One and two on Marsh.
The importance of contact, Adam. JT didn't hit that ball hard at all, but Stott with 2 strikes comes through, right? JT Realmuto with 2 strikes comes through. This is what the Mets have been doing to every team. All of a sudden, the Phillies have flipped the script on them.
Marsh goes down swinging on a fastball, 2 away. A 1-out walk to Harper, a single by Castellanos, and then the 2-strike triple from Stott.
Yeah, Stott much more comfortable inside than he is away. You can tell that Diaz was trying to backdoor that slider. He just left it over the middle. He pulled it. He pulled it over the middle. I think that's where you try to, if you're going to try to get him to chase there, maybe you back foot it, but I think he thought he was going to freeze him with the backdoor slider.
Here's Alec Bohm. Strike 1. Bohm pops it up. Alonso into foul ground. 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 8th. Matt Strahm ready to come in out of the bullpen. And Bryson Stott is able to deliver in what has been a wild game. 6-4 Phillies have regained the lead. The birthday boy has put Philadelphia on top. Favorite postseason team gear. Matt Strahm with an opportunity for redemption after he gave up a couple of runs in the 8th inning last night. He's on for the save against 9-1-2. Harrison Bader takes ball 1.
I got to talk to Matt Strahm before the game today. I looked at him and was like, how you doing today? And he goes, I can never throw 17 strikes again in a row like I did last night if I tried.
He's 17 for 17. Of course, 11 of those pitches came against Jose Iglesias in that 11-pitch at bat where he fouled away 7 of Strahm's offerings. A ball and a strike on Bader. Lindor and then Vientos to follow. Ring ball fouled at the plate. 1-2. Home to Bader. Fouled away. Matt Strom, the first-time All-Star in his second year with Philadelphia, and then signed an extension for a couple more years. Another 1-2. Bader skies it down the left field line. Hayes and Bohm giving chase. They'll run out of room. Bohm trying to climb up the netting after he lost his hat.
He also took out the umpire, Rob Drake, down the left field line. He had to dodge him running after that ball.
Veteran umpire, part of the 6-umpire crew for the postseason. Another 2-strike pitch is waved down and missed. 1 down.
Just high heat by Matt Strom. Right by Harrison Bader.
Lindor is coming up. We'll take a look at Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud. On base percentage around .340 this year, but when he moved to the leadoff spot, the offense for New York changed. 37% chance of getting on base. Google Cloud powers the real-time insights. Strike 1 to Lindor. The North Dakota native Matt Strom with an 0-1. 0-2. Just got a piece, did Lindor. Strom taking it all the way to the brink of the pitch clock as well. Trying to settle in as much as he can before these huge drama-filled pitches.
Yeah, and you can kind of ice the hitter sometimes doing that.
Oh-2. Lindor towards second, past a diving Stott. And the tying run will come to the plate for New York in Vientos.
Francisco Lindor, right-handed, very good up ball hitter. Struggles with the ball down, chases down if he's going to chase. But Strom's fastball plays up. So it's kind of like one of those times where you go, all right, I just played my best against your best, and Lindor won.
So he's aboard. Now Vientos at the plate, the tying run. He's hit a 2-run home run in this game. Ball 1.
Just another reason why that second run that they pushed across was such a big deal, because this Mets team, like we said, they never stop coming.
Rob Thompson says you have to bury him when you have the chance. Strom trying to do that in the 9th. Check swing, went around, 1-1. Time called by Vientos. One on, one out in the 9th. And a 1-1 pitch. 1-2. with the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vientos laid off of it.
Easy take, too, for Vientos. He didn't even flinch at that ball.
Opponents hit just 114 against Strom's slider this season. 2-2. In the dirt, 3-2.
See, he went back to it. If there's a weakness Vientos has against left-handers, it's against the breaking ball. But he's got to get that started a little higher, doesn't he, AJ? If he gets it started where he's got to look tasty coming out of the hand. If it starts down, he's going to take it right away.
So you throw a breaking ball here?
Yeah.
Let's find out. 3-2 pitch. Here's a fastball hit in the air, deep left field. Ranging back is Hayes at the wall. Mark Vientos has done it again, and the Mets have done it again. It's 6-6 in the 9th. Punch after punch after punch, blow after blow traded by these 2 division rivals. It's 6-6.
They never stop coming at him.
The comeback Mets have tied it again.
Vientos had that little bobble. Remember, Bryson Stott to score? Payback.
Yep.
Right there. Oh, they needed someone on. Ties the game right there for the Mets. Unbelievable.
Here's Nimmo, who's homered in this game. He did it back in the 7th to make it a 4-3 game. Vientos, 24 years old, in his Division Series debut this weekend. His 2nd home run of the night. Nimmo goes the other way. Hayes pushed back towards the track. He's got it for out number 2.
Vientos, man, he's feeling it right now. I don't know if you call it hot or just good, but he sees the ball off lefties really, really good.
This ball's at his neck, though.
It's way up there. I know, but
above his letter.
He hits it up there. That's what I was saying. The chance he had was to break a ball down.
He fired up the Mets. He's tied the game. The lefty Nimmo retired. Alonso coming up. The righty Hoffman coming in. The 9th tonight. And Mark Vientos is on the tear that every major leaguer hopes to be on this time of year. Now Pete Alonso against Jeff Hoffman. Ball 1.
Things you dream about as a kid. 9th inning, hitting a home run in the playoffs. Oh, not Strom's going. That ball's at his neck. How the heck did he hit that ball out of the park?
Alonso fouls it back, 1-1. Now Hoffman, who did not record an out when he came in the 8th inning in game 1. Couple of hits, 3 runs across against him. Alonso hit a sac fly in that 8th inning when Hoffman and Strom, the 2 All-Stars, were on for Philly. Alonso flares one into right. Castellanos coming on, and he dives and makes the catch. A sliding grab by Castellanos to end the inning and send this to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 6. That looked like the catch he made in the World Series a couple of years ago. Nick Castellanos says he's focused and locked in on defense in the playoffs. He was right there. 6-6. The Mets alive. The youngest player in National League history with 3 extra base hits in a playoff game. But now in the 9th inning, it'll be Austin Hayes for his first at bat, and then back to the top. Schwarber and Turner. Harper, if anybody reaches, against Tylor McGill. First at bat of the night for Hayes, who came in as a defensive sub. And he'll take a strike. In the air to right. Long run for Taylor, angling towards the line. He slides, can't get there. And it's a long strike, 0-2 on Hayes.
We talked about it in the open, the craziness of the Mets and what they've done, but their numbers in the 8th and 9th inning over the last few games are simply stuff you can't even think are possible. They've scored 12 runs in the series. 10 have been off the bullpen in 6 innings. It's crazy. And what they did off the Milwaukee bullpen the game before to get here.
One of the wildest weeks in their franchise's history. They came in for their first ever playoff series against the NL East champion Phillies. And man, this has not disappointed. 0-2. Foul back. Stopped the triple, which gave Philadelphia the lead back in the 8th inning. Harper has had some dramatics. Vientos tied the game. 0-2. Got him on the splitter, tailing away, 1 down. And now back to the top in Schwarber.
Look at the split, just gets around it. Turns it left. That's something you don't see very often. A pitcher be able to work the split both ways.
1 down for Schwarber. Oof. Kind of in that happy area for Schwarber. A strike from McGill.
A little bit high for Schwarber, and it was a cutter. He throws that about 6 inches lower. Schwarber's going to take a massive hack at it.
0-1. Off the end of the bat, popped up. Vientos backpedals, and the left fielder in Nimmo coming in, and Vientos ends up making the catch on what could have been a dangerous play.
Well, they're probably both calling it, but it's hard to hear. Isn't it, AJ, with all this crowd's going crazy, they're ready to erupt.
And Nimmo is shaken up after that collision with the third baseman, Vientos.
Got the wind knocked out of him.
Usually this is the outfielder's ball, but like you said, Wayno, when it's so hard to hear, whoever catches it, catches it.
Nimmo seemingly okay after that. Mendoza and the trainer back to the Mets dugout. And now they're 2 down for Trey Turner. Couple of hits, couple of steals, and a run scored tonight. First offering is a bouncer in the dirt, 1-0. You saw a bunch of Phillies from that dugout all come up to the top step. Keep an eye on this Trey Turner at bat. (1-0). Staying away from him, 2-0.
A few of those guys in that dugout were our teammates for the WBC when he hit one of the most crucial home runs I think I've ever seen, you know, for our country.
In the dirt, and it's 3-0.
You got to make him swing the bat. Yeah, you have. You can't go to Harper. If Turner swings and hits the ball here, gets on base, or hits a home run, you got to be happy with that. If you're I mean, you're not happy about it, but it's a better decision than getting Harper up there.
There's a strike, 3-1.
And those 2-out walks. They've been known to haunt you.
High leverage count in favor of Turner. The 3-1. Waved on in, missed on a cutter, 3-2.
It's a great pitch right there. Not giving in Still throwing a nasty breaking ball for a strike. Looks like a fastball, just drops straight down underneath the zone. Great 3-1 pitch.
Now the payoff. Turner will take ball 4, and the winning run is aboard for Bryce Harper. And here comes Mendoza to check on McGill.
I just don't see him throwing him a pitch to hit. Now they might, but with what Bryce Harper did in the huge at-bat where he hit the home run to get this crowd into it, I've said it for 2 days now. Nick Castellanos, as good as he is, has got to beat you.
Not Harper, you're saying?
Not Harper.
6th inning, got the Philadelphia offense alive after they've been shut down for 5 innings. The catalyst.
He's just thinking about shooting a little single to left right here, AJ.
Turner's not going to steal, I promise you that, because if he steals, they walk him.
Yeah, he's not stealing. But the guys behind him today, when they have put him on, have stepped up in the big spots.
So here is Harper. Postseason game number 51, 31 of them the last 2 years. One of the great playoff performers in the major leagues working. The #1 pick at 17 years of age, got to the major leagues at age 19. He's already had huge moments in a Philly uniform, trying to create another one here. Winning run at first and Turner. 2 down, McGill to Harper. Inside, ball 1.
They're not holding Trey Turner on, which is going to a little bit allow him to get a better jump. If Harper hits somehow, listen, the defense is playing no doubles in the outfield, but if Harper gets one down a line or gets one in the gap, speed of Turner by not holding him on might give him a chance to score.
The 1-0. Harper down the right field line, towards the corner. It is a foul ball. Inches away potentially from ending the game. Instead, it's a strike and it's 1-1.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, this game's giving it all to us right now.
Take a breath, take a moment.
That was the situation you just said right there too, AJ. He would have scored right there.
Ball and a strike. Two and one.
Oh, Turner would have scored easy. When Taylor picked the ball up in right field, he was already around third.
Yeah.
He would have scored easily on that ball.
Those are the kind of mistakes you make when you're just overthrowing, like we said earlier.
The 2-1 to Harper. On the ground towards first and foul.
That pitch right there, the splitter, down and away, something moving away from him. That's probably a better spot. This is a better spot to throw that kind of pitch, something moving away from him out of the power zone, than that breaking ball coming back into swing. Very risky pitch.
Two. Just cued it foul. It was that splitter down and away. Winning run at first. 2 down. Bottom of the 9th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGill and Harper battling with game 2 on the line. Harper takes high, full count, and now Trey Turner, one of the fastest in baseball, is going to be on the move with this pitch.
Got to come back here with the split, AJ, I think.
Bounce it. Do not give him a chance to hit this ball.
Yeah, you don't give in with the split down the way.
There goes Turner, and it is ball 4, and the winning run is in scoring position for Philadelphia and Castellanos.
Did you see where Alvarez set up? In the right-handed batter's box is like, just, I mean, as a catcher, that is the worst feeling, because he makes a mistake and he gives up a hit right there, and Turner scores. Carlos Mendoza goes, "Why'd you give him a pitch to hit?" And you're like, "I was in the other batter's box." What a game.
Which comes down to McGill against Castellanos. Turner the winning run at second, Harper behind him. Goes after the first pitch. It was a cutter tailing away. 0-1. Castellanos tied the game at 3, back in the 6th with a solo home run. He singled and scored on the Stott go-ahead triple in the 8th. Ooh, that one came inside on him with that fastball, and he defensively swung it back towards the Philadelphia dugout. It's 0-2.
Two pitches executed perfectly. Slider away, sinker in. Back to the slider away, AJ.
That's what he went with.
I actually wouldn't mind him throwing a split, because it looks like a heater coming out of his hand.
Winning run at second, 2 down. 1-2 pitch to Castellanos. Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, 1 apiece. Castellanos the hero.